People hear the word bonds and instantly feel confused. It sounds boring, complicated, and like something only rich people understand. But bonds are actually very simple. So simple, I can explain them using a toy example. You will understand what bonds are, how they work, why people buy them, and when they make sense. First off, we have to know what a bond is. Well, think of a bond like this. You are lending money to someone. That's pretty much it. That's the whole idea. But when you buy a bond, you are lending your money not to an individual, but to a government or to a company. They take your money, use it for their needs, and promise to pay you back later, plus interest. Let's help you understand this more with a very simple example. Imagine this. Your friend comes to you and says, "Hey, can you lend me $100 for 5 years?" And you say, "Okay, but every year you pay me $5 as thanks." And after 5 years, they give your $100 back. That agreement is basically a bond. Now, there are three main parts. First, the money you lend. Second, the interest you earn. Third, the time period. That's it. Now let's learn a few words to help you understand more in the bond world. Don't worry, they sound big, but they are easy. Number one, face value. Face value just means the money you lent. If you lend $100, the face value is $100. That's the amount you get back at the end. At number two, coupon. Coupon sounds strange, but it just means interest. If the bond pays $5 every year, that $5 is the coupon. It's your reward for lending your money. And number three, maturity. Maturity means when the bond ends. If the bond lasts 5 years, maturity is after 5 years. That's when you get your money back. Now, who issues bonds? Now, the big question, who asks for this money? Usually two types, governments and companies. First up, government bonds. Governments need money to build roads, schools, hospitals, and more. So they borrow money from people like you. Government bonds are usually considered safer because governments rarely disappear. The trade-off, they usually pay lower interest. Safe, but not the most profitable, one might say. Next, company bonds. Companies also need money to expand, to build factories, to grow their business. So they issue bonds. Company bonds usually pay higher interest, but they also carry more risk because companies can fail. So this is higher reward, higher risk type situation. It's up to you to invest in which type of bonds depending on your risk appetite. Now, why do people buy bonds? Good question. Why not just keep money in cash or invest in stocks? Here's why. Reason one, stability. Bonds are calmer. Stocks go up and down a lot. Bonds move slower. People like bonds when they want peace of mind. Reason two, regular income. Many bonds pay interest regularly. Every few months, money hits your account. That feels good, especially for retirees or people who want steady cash flow. Lastly, predictability. With bonds, you usually know how much you'll earn and when you'll get your money back. That predictability matters. But bonds are not risk-free. This part is important. Bonds are safer than stocks, but they are not perfect. Interest rate risk. This is the biggest one. When interest rates go up, old bonds become less attractive. Why? Because new bonds offer better interest. So the price of old bonds goes down. That's why bond prices and interest rates move in opposite directions. Default risk. This means the borrower might not pay you back. Governments, low risk. Weak companies, higher risk. That's why ratings exist. If you may ask, what are credit ratings? It's very simple. Think of ratings like report cards. AAA means excellent student, very trustworthy. Lower ratings mean more risk. Higher interest usually comes with lower ratings. Always a trade-off. Now here's a slightly different type. Zero coupon bonds. These do not pay regular interest. Instead, you buy them cheap. For example, you pay $70 today, and after 10 years, you get $100. No yearly payments, just a bigger payout later. What about inflation? Inflation matters. If inflation is higher than your bond's interest, you lose buying power. That's why some bonds are inflation protected. They adjust with rising prices. Well, now you might ask, who should consider bonds? Bonds are useful for people who want stability, people who want regular income, people closer to retirement, people who hate wild swings. They're not boring, they're just calm, So, if bonds always sounded confusing, now you know the truth. Honestly, bonds aren't some fancy Wall Street thing. They're just you lending money and getting paid for waiting. That's it. I hope this helped make it all feel a little less confusing. Until next time, stay curious, stay healthy. Bye for now.